Welcome to the Monarch Experience Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Ancona, and here at the Monarch Experience Podcast, we are all about giving students the platform to be able to voice their opinions about what matters most to them. And today, we're talking about Percy Jackson. We're talking about the Lightning Thief himself. We're going to be talking all things Percy Jackson, from chatting about the movies and the show, comparing them to the books. Books are always better. Talking about favorite characters, favorite storylines, overall our favorite things about the Percy Jackson series. And of course, we'll then be ranking our favorite books in order to create the definitive list of the best Percy Jackson books. But before we get to that, make sure that you're following us on Snapchat at the Monarch Experience Podcast. Make sure that you are also writing a eulogy for our TikTok account. It's dead, so let's give it a proper send-off. And we'll do a funeral and a big procession and a celebration of life party, I don't know, at some point in January. We'll give out cupcakes to everyone who attends, because nothing says a funeral like cupcakes. Death by chocolate. All right, enough talking about death, because we got two people who are very alive. We've got coming back for a second episode. You may remember her from that 90s episode. We've got Rabaab. I feel like I should do just like a game show. We've got Rabaab!
Salutations, back to Emily.
Ooh, look, it's back and forth between Emily and Rabaab. Rabaab and Emily. And then we've also got one of our very own, someone from the podcast club. He is an extraordinary content creator. It's Ash. Ash, what's up?
Hi.
No, don't. No.
Hi.
He's looking me. He's looking me in the eyes.
No, but like
saying it. That's what makes it even worse.
Yeah. Hygiene is actually how you say hello in ancient Greek. What? So like, I guess that's kind of a nice
tie into Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
I thought you were just purposely trying to infuriate me with your hello.
Don't worry.
Because that is a sixth grade thing. That is the ongoing joke, is that I've made fun of sixth graders. I mean, not made fun of them. I'm not saying that on the air like I make fun of sixth graders. No. I have gently poked fun at the sixth graders for being the ones that usually are the ones that message me on Snapchat saying, hi. Yeah. And Ash, a sixth grader, looks me square in the eyes and with his maniacal... what is this? How would you describe this?
Hand gesture?
Hand gestures. Says hi. Well, it's great to have you. All right, so let's talk about Percy Jackson. So I guess very similar to our Harry Potter and our Star Wars reviews, Percy Jackson, much like those two iconic series, has loyal fan base, loyal followings. People feel very strongly about a lot of things regarding Percy Jackson. And much like the Harry Potter episode, and much like Harry Potter, I have never watched any of them, have no interest in them, but that's okay, it's not about me. Know nothing about Percy Jackson. I know far less about Percy Jackson than I think anything else in the world. So why'd you start reading Percy Jackson? And maybe by the end of this episode, you'll have convinced me to give it a shot. That is so loud. We can hear the wrapping of the candy. What candy did it? It's like ASMR episode, which we're going to do eventually. But he's getting us... Here, give us a
56 minutes of ASMR, rigorous tapping. I think I would have gotten so angry by that point.
Just saying I have a cough and I don't want to ruin everything.
Gotcha, yeah. So we're obviously
on the episode,
eating caramel is gonna help the cough.
No. I'm just going to keep it in my mouth. So.
Perfect. And it's only audio, so we're not going to hear that at all. Crinkle, crinkle.
ASMR.
Ash is... why do you like about Percy Jackson? Dude's eating during a podcast that's only audio. I love the sound of people chewing in my ears. I'm going to make Ash choke by accident. Okay, so talk to me about what got you both into Percy Jackson. Like, why'd you start reading? Did you go movie first? Did you go book first?
Book first.
Book first?
Book first.
Okay, book first. So since Ash is chewing, let's go with Rabaab first. What got you into the Percy Jackson series? Why'd you start reading it?
So around the 4th grade, my teacher, she started introducing us to the stories about Persephone and Percy and Poseidon and Zeus and Hades. And so that got me I started to think about like the books and how much I would like them, just because I had been researching from that point that we had ended the topic. Like I had been researching like 2 months later. So I found out that there was a whole book series, and there's obviously extensions of like Apollo, and then there's Percy Jackson books. So there's like all of these series, but I started with Percy Jackson in particular because I wanted to just have this light, airy story that, I mean, kind of had like that teenager element, that kind of comedy element, but it also linked in with like Greek mythology and all that we know.
That's awesome. So Greek mythology is really the thing that like got you in there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about okay. And who's your favorite Greek mythology character?
My favorite Greek
or
mythology.
story?
I think my favorite story would be Pandora and the Box.
Okay. How come?
The reason why I like it is because I think that in comparison, like I know there's a lot of stories in Greek mythology that just like center around one theme, but when I read Pandora and the Box, I realized that it had a theme that was almost universal in comparison to just like one particular story. I think it was like a universal theme. It was something that you could like look at, that you could apply to like your daily life, and it almost had something to do with greed, which I think is pretty consistent now. So like I read it because it was in my sister's library and because I love to make her mad. But at the end of the day, that was my personal favorite story, my favorite Greek mythology. Love
that. That's really cool. Ash, what about you? Why'd you start reading the Percy Jackson stories? How was the Twix, by the way?
Done with the Twix.
It was good.
Was it a left one or a right one?
It was a right.
Okay.
So I started reading Percy Jackson because I wanted Harry Potter, but before no. The thing is, I hadn't realized how great Percy Jackson was at the time. But so I wanted to read Harry Potter, but the first book I read, I got this funny dream about newts on broomstick, and then my parents were like, "You're getting nightmares. No more Harry Potter till you're in 5th grade." So then my mom got me the Percy Jackson books, thinking that it would be something like the Harry Potter books. And like my literal existence is like, I like books. I read books. I will not be me if I don't read books. So I just ignored my mom until she gave me the books, and I read them, and the knowledge got absorbed into my soul.
So it's a huge part of your life.
Yes.
And your fabric of your being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you guys totally can't see me, I have...
Because he's John Cena.
Yeah. I have my official Camp Half-Blood t-shirt on today, and I have my Camp Half-Blood necklace with
nice.
3 beads for 3 years in the Camp Half-Blood fandom. So.
And there are 3 of us.
Yeah.
Look at that. Give us we're going to rank the Percy Jackson books from all 5 of them from least favorite. There's no worst, right?
Oh, yeah.
If
least
you
favorite
love the content,
to
there's
best.
no
Love it.
worst.
Least favorite to best.
Least favorite to best.
Okay,
from 5
so-
down to 1 or up to 1. All right, hit us. What's number
so
5?
5 is the Sea of Monsters. I didn't really like this. I feel like there were a bunch of different reasons, but I didn't like how the in the book, Talia's tree has already been deactivated, so I don't really like it should be introduced in the later books. All of these, all this grief and all of this plot, I think should be introduced later in the book series. So I've always had I've always never been fond of it. So, the Titan's Curse, the only reason it's 4 on the list and not
So Sea of
5.
Monsters, just to jump in.
Yes.
On Google, 96% liked this book. On Amazon, 4.7 out of 5.
I mean, I think it's
Actually,
just
me and him both have
It's
that's
probably
our
because-
least favorite
no,
book.
No, it's
So
probably
that's a little interesting in my opinion.
Right? I'm just looking at your take versus the general public.
I think that it's because they're not forced to rank them. Because
okay, so they're looking at it as an overall
Book.
I don't know. I might say yeah, that's fair. right? When I look at something and I give it a star system of 1 through 5, this would be a different conversation. You can have 2 things be a 4. You can have all the things be a 4. But I still say 4.7 is very high.
Yeah.
It is.
So, okay. Number 4?
So I didn't like the Titan's Curse. Like, it's number 4, but the reason I didn't like it is because now it's like we get one children of all the big 3 gods, but like I feel like the plot escalates too fast in the beginning, and it just catches readers emotionally off guard. Like Nico, who I'm sorry giving spoilers.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this episode's going to contain major spoilers, so
Yeah.
I would assume if you haven't read or watched the Percy Jackson series at all, then maybe this isn't the episode for you to click on.
Absolutely not.
Go ahead. I think now that we got that out of the
Okay.
way.
But if you have no interest in reading the Percy Jackson books,
You're probably not listening to this.
or you've just been bugged by me so much that you're just gonna listen to it.
Ash has kidnapped you, and you're tied. You're
Yeah,
you're
and then
With
just-
a Twix bar.
No,
Yeah.
and then just
With the Twix bar.
And
He's
just-
eating the Twix bar, making you listen to him chew. So Ash, Titan's Curse is 4.7 on Amazon and 4.4 on Goodreads.
Yeah. So
You said it
Nico-
escalates too fast.
Yeah.
Most people, I feel like, would love that. That there's like no exposition or no
Oh
characters.
no, I
like,
love
just-
the exposition.
do.
I
You're
love
like
the
me.
I think
backstories.
it's like
Yeah, you're like me.
if you really
like-
want a story to develop, then like you would like if you really want to know your characters, if you really want to get your plot, you really want to get your story, then I think that you would prefer like a slow exposition. You're
Yeah.
getting to the rising action, but you have at least within like 100 to 200 pages worth of reading that you're still going to read between, and you've got like that kind of I'm rising into this moment,
Yeah.
this is the climax, this is it, right? Some people though, they want to read fast. They just want to get to the plot and they want to be done.
They want Michael Bay movies. Just
Yeah.
special effects and no plot, no character development. Just, ooh, flashy transformer.
So then why do
Rabaab,
you wonder-
spoken like a writer, spoken like an avid reader. You got to care about your characters before they do anything.
So then why would you even want to read the book though? Because like if you don't have an understanding and you just want the action, then like I feel like if there's like a backstory, how like if there's like a backstory about how a villain wants vengeance on a hero, like then you would say like the villain is obviously the villain, but the hero is obviously the hero. But like if the hero somehow harmed the villain in a way,
Yeah, we need to
then
know
you
why.
would start to rethink. Then you would start to rethink it.
I love
right?
that. I agree. Ash, go ahead. What's number
Okay.
3?
Number 3 is the lightning thief.
Ooh,
is
the first one,
lightning
right?
thief. Yeah, the
Yes.
first one. I guess like I like this book. Like 3 to 5 are or 3 to 1 are the books that I like best, and 4 and 5 are the books that don't really catch my interest.
It's a 4.5 on Amazon and it's a 4.3 on Goodreads.
So I
so
think-
far the lowest ranking one on those two platforms, but mid for you.
Yeah.
It says-
So this book is mid. I like a little bit of randomness, but since we're just meeting the characters, and people could be like it could be like this book. My friends say that it has a lot of action. Let me read this. So, if you read it, then it's like kind of overwhelming. Like the plot is kind of hard to understand, and the characters. We didn't even know how to pronounce Daedalus until like right before this podcast. So,
No, that's not a joke. We
Yeah.
actually just searched it up like
Really?
before, and
Yeah.
I have it open.
How did you say it originally?
We said Daedalus. Yeah,
Yeah,
we said
Daedalus.
Daedalus, and it's
Daedalus.
Daedalus.
so.
Okay.
But when you're reading Greek mythology, like each name is different, so
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to like really like get like the name like to the point. And obviously when I'm reading, like I don't want inconsistency, so I will make up a name to like the best of my ability, to the
Same.
point that if I'm reading, I have named people H and R. We don't even have a name for them. Their
Love it.
names are letters. So
So why is it 3 for you?
Um,
Aside from all this, it's convoluted. It's your first exposure to
Yeah.
the characters. It had to have done something, obviously, to pull you in. I mean, again, granted, it's ranked 3rd, which I think is still really good.
Yeah, I'm just saying this because I think that there are better books. It's not like there's anything like really bad except for those. Like the minor flaw, like that minor flaw is what put it at 3rd. One thing that they do that I admire is placing places in the story that actually exist. Like we can see the arch in
St. Louis?
Yeah, in
St. Louis
yeah, in
and
San Luis.
Mount Olympus in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, like we go to the Empire State Building in New York.
Okay.
And there are a bunch of Lincoln Tunnel and like that stuff.
This is the one where Percy's mom dies, right?
Percy's mom doesn't die. She just
she gets pulled into the underworld.
Yeah, she's just sent into the underworld as
I
punishment.
know a thing or two.
Yeah, as punishment for Percy from Hades, who thinks that Percy has his helm of darkness,
Right.
which
His baseball
he
cap.
thinks is stolen. So, which he thinks that Percy has stolen. So, and so the readers will be able to make real world connections. And I think that the next time I go to the Empire State Building, or if I go to the Empire State Building, I'm just gonna say to the person, please give me a key card to the 600th floor. And if the person hasn't read Percy Jackson, they'll be like,
They're going to lock you up.
what?
They're
There's a Percy
going to lock you up. Be like,
Yeah.
This guy is crazy. Get him out of here.
Okay, so
Number 2.
Number 2, yeah. The Last Olympian. The final book in the series.
Ooh, the
Wait,
last
really? I rated that like my 5th, but I want to hear this out.
one. Oh, wow. Huge differences here. All right,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
So I like The Last Olympian. The Last Olympian, like the least bit less than the Battle of the Labyrinth, because like
4.8 on Amazon.
yeah, because
It's a good book.
yeah, because I don't like how it's the end. Like, it's always like the Deathly Hallows, right? One of my least favorite books because it's the end of the whole Harry Potter series.
Oh.
Or like,
For me, the Deathly Hallows, it was just so much. Like it towards the end of
much
the
or
book.
so much?
Like honestly, it was. I don't want to say it was too much because at the same time I was like, there's these characters dying
Okay.
and I'm moving with those characters,
yeah.
and you kind of feel like you're part of that book almost.
Mhm.
But it was so much because there's like this happening, and so I was like flipping pages again and again, and I was rereading scenes because some scenes I literally could not believe that J.K. Rowling had wrote.
Okay. Because it's the end, so you're wrapping up this enormous saga.
And like
And it's not the end of a book, it's the end of everything for them.
Yeah.
So, okay. I understand it being so much, which is different than too much. Okay. Ash, and you really like, but despite what you're saying that you tend to not, you didn't like Deathly How, no, you didn't like,
no, it's like a good book, but like the one thing that sets it apart from the others
we're
is
talking about
that,
Percy Jackson, right?
yeah, like
Okay.
the one thing that sets it apart from the others is that it's the end. Like everybody hates the end of good things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you were going to a birthday party at, like, one of the best places you can imagine, and it ends, you have to go home, like, would you be like, oh, no, I want to have more fun at this place, or would you be like, I mean, I
That's
could live
okay.
without it.
I'm 38.
This
I
is-
want to go home. Ash, I wonder if a big part of that is people tend to have these unbelievably high expectations for the end of something, especially something that, like Rabaab really wonderfully said, like that you feel like you're a part of, whether it's a show or a book series, that, the finales tend to not go over well with diehard fan bases, whether it's like Game of
Yeah.
Thrones or Yellowstone. I know these are not shows that our audience might necessarily know, and I wonder sometimes if that happens with book series too that people love, where the expectations just are so high that nothing the author does is going to make you happy. But for you, that's the opposite. You feel like this fulfilled it, scratched the itch.
Yeah, and so the best thing about Uncle Rick is that there's always another book to read. There's always another book series. But some of the really good things that happened in The Last Olympian were when Percy took a dip in the Styx. Styx being spelled Styx, not sticks, as in the sticks that you would break off a tree and go ask your dog to fetch. which is a reference from the Last Olympian. Go read it if you want to find it. And he found a way to make a movie reference and add sarcasm. So that takes some serious skill. It's also really dramatic at the end where, like, the person who's literally been plotting Percy's downfall since the beginning of the series is like, oh wait, I finally realized that the Titan that's possessing my body may want to break the entire world. No way. So he sacrifices himself so that the world doesn't plunge into unending chaos. But, like, the scenes afterwards are so sad. Like, sad. Very
You just
sad.
drop into despair.
What's the saddest scene?
I feel like it's when, so the reason I think that, I'm just gonna spoil this for everyone who hasn't read. The main antagonist's name is Luke, who's a demigod, who's helping Kronos rise to power again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because he did that in, like, I don't know, part of me felt like after I read Lightning Thief that he had learned his lesson that, you know, dealing with Kronos was not, like, a fun game. Like, it's a big deal to deal with a Titan who ate gods.
And that's that your criticism, I guess, is, are they going back to the well too many times? Are they going back to the same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
because honestly, you think about it and you're saying, okay, I don't know. After Lightning Thief, I genuinely just thought, okay, maybe Luke, like, learned his lesson. Maybe he actually learned that just because he doesn't like his dad or just because him and his dad don't have a good relationship, that absolutely by far does not mean that you go and you start dealing with somebody big like Kronos, somebody who's been locked away, or you deal with Titans who've been holding up the sky. So that's Titan Atlas. Atlas, he had been holding the sky up, and spoiler, Artemis, he captures Artemis, the god, and he actually makes goddess, and he makes her hold up the sky. So when we think about it, like, Titan Atlas, he's not somebody you want to be dealing with. Kronos, not somebody you want to be dealing with. You know, somebody who's holding up the sky, that's not somebody you want to have a play date with. So for me, that's always been very, like, weird that, like, he kind of was just like, I'm going to deal with Kronos and his little cronies.
So your number one, obviously,
is A Battle of the Labyrinth.
Okay, what'd you love about it?
So I like this book because it's the start of, like, the actual, like, war. Like, it's like the first war they've had, like, directly with Kronos. And the events that happened are scattered everywhere, like how they like for one they have to find Hephaestus so that they know so it starts like they go in, they meet up with Hera who hates basically all demigods, who gives them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then they, like, go on, and later in the book it's like they have to find Hephaestus to get they go to, like, this ranch where there's a 3-body monster who has an assistant who betrays him and gives them a metal spider to go find Hephaestus, who will tell them how to get to the labyrinth. But then, like,
It's a whole thing.
there are a bunch of side quests.
What's your favorite part of it?
Probably when Percy you can really see Percy's devotion to his friends when, like, after he blows up Mount St. Helens, and he goes to Calypso's island, Ogygia. You can really see his friend. You can see his devotion to his friends when he goes back, like, to war.
Yeah.
Instead of just staying there and
Like, staying back on that island, like, he could have literally
and
just stayed there, but
Yeah,
instead
he
he went and he, like, walked in and he was there with his friends. He shows kind of, like, that leadership, and that's why he is the son of the big three.
Okay.
He is the son of Poseidon because he is that important figure. He is that leader. He shows bravery and he does everything. He has his apparent father's attributes, but we also know that as a fact, like, the gods really did not care about their children.
Do you think, Ash, that this is kind of like him fulfilling his destiny in this book? And if so, is that a big factor why you put it as your number one?
See, the thing is, I kind of disagree with what you're saying right now, because his destiny, the reason he's even going through all of this is because the big prophecy is because
Big
of
prophecy.
the great prophecy,
Mhm.
which is fulfilled in the last Olympian.
Okay.
Which
Right,
basically
so-
states, like, I actually had it.
A half-blood of the eldest gods
Yeah.
shall reach 16 against all odds and see the world in endless sleep. The hero's soul cursed blade shall reap. A single choice shall end his days. Olympus to preserve or raise. Raise meaning like raise to the ground, like burning to the ground.
That the child from one of the big three gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades,
Mm.
will play a crucial role in the fate of Olympus, which is exactly what Perseus does.
Yeah, like
Sounds-
the only
sounds
the-
like he's
yeah,
fulfilling
the
his
only,
destiny.
The
Yeah.
only part that really goes through like all the books is him reaching 16.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
also, I like this is the first of the many battles which will determine the fate of Olympus. And the final appearance of Daedalus and Breres motivates like everyone, and in the end they end up rushing them back into the labyrinth, and Daedalus
Sacrifices himself.
sacrifices himself to make sure that they can't use the labyrinth, like they can't exploit the labyrinth to use
It's like go into Camp Half-Blood.
Mhm.
to use as like an invasion route to Camp Half-Blood. And we finally see that Annabeth likes Percy back, and it's like finally, like we know that
We
you
knew
guys
it
are like
all
the
along.
best ship in like the Percy Jackson series, right? So yeah.
Awesome.
And
You got
and the last thing is when we see Pan's death. It's a universal message. Like if we don't take care of nature, it'll die. And like
that's cool.
I feel so guilty when Pan dies in the books. So I think that it's sure to impact a lot of the readers.
I
Yeah.
love that. So we got Ash's list. All right, let's get Rabaab's list.
All right.
Rabaab, hearing Ash's ranking, major differences, minor differences?
It's not really that different
Okay.
in comparison to Ashes, but it is like different.
Okay,
in
so
a way.
without too much overlap, what's number 5?
My least is The Sea of Monsters.
Okay.
And my big one, my last book, is one second. The Last Olympian. That's my last book. That I personally like. That's my favorite book.
Okay.
And so in comparison to Ash, like he said, I don't like the last book, Crinkle Crinkle of the Rapper. But in comparison to Ash, where he put it like 4th place, for me this is like my last book. Like this is the book that it's like everything for me.
Most favorite.
My most
Okay,
favorite.
what stands out? What makes it most favorite?
For me, why I liked The Last Olympian so much was because all the readers are at edge of their seats. They are all waiting. They don't know who's going to take over. Because again, Kronos, like he was like eating these gods for breakfast. Like he was eating his kids for breakfast, and I mean this literally. Like that is what it says in the books. I eat my kids for breakfast. So you're on the edge of your seat. You're saying Titan Atlas, one of the most strengthful titans. You have all of these titans. You have all, like, everybody. And then you have the demigods, and you have the gods, and then you have, obviously, nature and, like, Chiron. Is that his name? Like, the... Chiron. He's, like, a half horse, half human. So you also have him on your side as well. So you have, like, every type of person, every type of like species that coexists in this demigod, in this like magical world beyond the mist. And then you have like the most aggressive and the most unruly and like literally just the worst people you could think of. Not people, they don't even count as people, but you have them and you're fighting them. And so personally, the Battle of Manhattan is just, it's the center of the story for me. At least it was the like moment that I consumed so much because it practically decided the fate of the Titans and Mount Olympus, like what would happen with the Empire State Building. So for me, because it is the last book, and literally at the end we see Percy faces Kronos. Percy is the one who is taking all of this, or Percy is literally destroying what all 3 big gods and all the 12 gods that are in Mount Olympus, like what they've built, what they've created. So for me, the last Olympian is the most important because you have everybody at the edge of their seats. You are waiting for this moment. You don't know who's going to win. And in this case, it's the most unexpected thing. Usually I'm always like, the hero's going to win. Like there is no exception that they are not going to win.
You had some doubt for this? You had some doubt?
I did.
Wow.
I really did. Because you are dealing with some of the most powerful species in your world. And then you have like the demigods and the gods. But at the same time, you're saying, sure, they have power, but they are not like 15-foot things.
But I love that, though. That's the mark of a good storyteller, I think, is to create doubt in your audience when your audience has been predisposed to always know the good guy, the good girl comes out on top. And to start to doubt that, like that's the mark of a good storyteller, I think.
Also, relating, it's also like there are a lot of sacrifices, like there like the Williamsburg Bridge, Michael Yu like dies, like that's like Lee Fletcher dies in the 4th book, and then Michael Yu dies in the 5th book. So that means that like in the 2 consecutive books, there's 2 consecutive.
And then so does Aphrodite's daughter too, right?
Yeah. So
Aphrodite's daughter, and then there's somebody else.
Charles Beckendorf.
Charles Beckendorf.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know all the names off the top of my head, but I do know that like Aphrodite's daughter and then Hephaestus' son or daughter, like one of them died as well. Son died as well. So we have like last Olympian, we are having sacrifices. And just like in Harry Potter, I'm taking a Harry Potter like moment, but we have all of these characters dying. It's the end of the world, but we also know that Harry Potter is no different than Voldemort. And at the end of the day, he is going to succumb all of the adversities that happen. And so in the last Olympian, we don't have that moment. We don't have like that feeling, oh, it's Percy. We have a demigod against Kronos. Kronos is the big dude. We know him from the 1st book. We know him to the last book. We know that the big 3 barely beat him, and that literally almost all of his siblings passed away while trying to fight off Kronos. So we now know the last Olympian, like this is happening. This is final. This is it. But at the same time, we don't know what's going to happen. And so I think, again, what you said is that's like the mark of a good story when you have that doubt, when you're like, maybe the hero's gonna win, maybe the villain's gonna win.
Even if it just creates just a glimmer of that doubt. That's what you want. You just don't want to. You want your hero to be in peril. You want your hero to be in this circumstance where, against all odds, he or she has to prevail, and you're just wondering, like, how does he do it? How does he figure out a way based off of his character traits? I think that's really cool. Who's your favorite character, Rabaab, and why?
My favorite character is Annabeth, and I know that she's a popular character, but out of all of the characters, sure, we know Percy, he's strong, he's leadership, he's got that funny element, he's great. Grover, we know that he is one with the nature, we know that he's also comedic relief. Okay. He is that character that you look at and you say, that dude's funny, but if he needs to be serious, you know that's one of the darkest and the most important time. But my favorite character is Annabeth, because we never knew what she was feeling. We never knew how she would feel. Most of all, she was the person who always stuck to the rules, but towards the end, we see such deep and immense character development that's just insane. We see her from changing who she started up as in The Lightning Thief, as somebody who was really strict, and we see her loosen up, and we see her become fiercer. And then, in the Battle of the Labyrinth, when she gets captured and imprisoned by Titan Atlas.
That's, the Titan's Curse.
The Titan's Curse. Oh, the Titan's Curse. We see that we see her highs and her lows, but we also see how frail she is, how weak she is. So we see her develop through the book. I feel like the amount of times I've seen Percy and his development is very low. But for, like, Annabeth, we see, like, all of this character development. One can see how much she changes. You can visually, sense it almost, that this character is changing from the first time we saw her to, like, the last.
What about you, Ash? Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character is Grover.
The sidekick.
Because I think that he's really underrated. I mean, like Percy and Annabeth are like Percy can never be seen without Annabeth, and Annabeth usually can't be seen without Percy because like even in the brief exposition moments, like Percy and like Annabeth always somehow meets up with Percy, or Percy somehow meets up with Annabeth. But and like usually they're the ones who go on the quests. They're the ones who are like they're like the heroes of the story. But
Grover's kind of like a
is
side character.
underrated.
Yeah.
Like I say Grover. He was third wheeling the whole series. Like Annabeth and Percy, like they're always sharing those moments. Grover is just like there along for the ride, I guess. Like he's there to help them, but like he doesn't he doesn't do he doesn't do as much. Like people say that he doesn't do as much as he actually does. So he was third wheeling. He also has the mark of a leader. He was Pan's chosen one. Like he was the last one he was the last satyr who ever met up with Pan before he died, right? His words, like he manages to rally up the nature spirits for for the Battle of Manhattan.
Okay.
So, and he's like
played
his
a
words
major
are
role.
firm yet compassionate.
The side character always plays a major role,
Yeah.
I think, a lot. The side
I'm
character
getting
is
to
gonna
that. So he's also given the role of Cloven Elder at the end of the book because of his bravery, because of his courage, because of his leadership. With those nature spirits. Throughout being almost murdered in the whole series, he still finds a way to be a good boyfriend to his girlfriend Juniper, right? So like, I mean, like if like you're about to be embedded, and he's like you're about to be like embedded with Spikes. I mean, he still really, really cares about Juniper. And he was a really good friend to Percy, and even though people may think that he's only comic relief, the role he plays is very complex and massive.
I sometimes wonder if we naturally are like, okay, I know that it's Harry Potter, but I don't want Harry to be my favorite character. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Percy
yeah.
Jackson. Like, I don't want Percy to be my favorite character. Like where you want to try to like almost pick someone that's less obvious.
I say like everybody likes the main character, so
That's okay.
so then what happens to the rest of the supporting characters? Like everybody's like, I like Harry or I like Hermione, but what about Ron? What
feel a
about
little
Neville?
called out
What
here.
about Luna? What about Ginny?
Well, I think here's the thing. I think there's a lot of different answers for this before we move on to chatting about the movies versus the show. I wonder if a big part of it is they are supporting characters, so they get less screen or page time.
They get less recognition
So
too.
because they get less screen or page time, you want more of them. You don't want... we typically don't want more Luke Skywalker. We don't want more Harry. We don't want more Percy, because they are the main character. They take up the bulk of it. We want like more of those other characters that get less time.
Yeah.
If
So
we
I
had
wonder-
more Luke Skywalker, that would have been the entirety of the book.
I don't want any more Luke Skywalker.
Actually,
please no.
It was so...
I mean-
I was like, okay, we have one character. Oh my god, we have a character. We have another character. It's not just him. Oh, thank God.
I mean, like the example I'm thinking of is just like Friends, the show Friends. Everybody loves Joey. Joey's hilarious. And then when they did the spin-off show called Joey, it was a failure because you want Joey in small doses, and that's what highlights his character and makes him so fun. You don't want a whole show based around Joey. All right, speaking of shows, what's better, the movies or the show?
Show.
Okay, so that's pretty unanimous. Where do the movies go wrong? I watched the first movie, or I should say, I scrolled on my phone during the whole movie while my wife and my kids watched it, and I was like, what is this? I can't sit
so
through.
bad.
They
Full
aged up the
disclo-
characters.
Full disclaimer, like for the people who know or who have listened to like plenty of podcast episodes about like media content, movies, shows, and stuff, I am not about anything really fantasy. Like fantasy stuff does not do it for me. I can do sci-fi. I like sci-fi.
I like sci-fi,
but
not
once we
fantasy.
go into fantasy, I kind of my eyes glaze over in the back of my head. So tell me, where do the movies? What's the number one thing that the movies went wrong with?
They age up the characters. They age up the characters
Yeah?
so much.
They're too
Like,
old.
Yeah, like
They
the
were, like,
reason
17 years
the
old
reason
plus.
I
And
really
Percy's
like
supposed to be how old?
He's
12.
supposed to be like 12. And
Oh.
like same with
12 to
Annabeth.
16. But, like-
Annabeth and like they were supposed to be around like 13. It
Yeah,
was
like everybody there is
Did
like
they make them
15.
too like?
It's like
They are
start
literally
at
all of those
15,
characters
and then
are,
by
like-
the end it's like 21.
Okay.
like Annabeth, for example,
Oh.
she's like 5'11", and she's like 17 years old, maybe 18. That's what we're leaning to. She's a full-grown adult at that point. Okay, sure, we have the element that she kind of looks like Annabeth, but I would rather have the girl who currently played Annabeth in the show than have her, because she was just, okay, maybe she looked a little bit like Annabeth, but she did not have the age. She really didn't bring like the Annabeth element. She wasn't wise like Annabeth. She didn't act like Annabeth.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I made up. So people who don't like math, cover your ears. Okay. So I made up an equation to sum up the Percy Jackson movie. Okay. So the lightning thief minus all of the good parts plus a bunch of made up stuff that basically nobody wants to hear about equals the movie, which equals a bad reputation for Percy Jackson.
It was just so bad. I honestly, I
The
cannot.
actress Alexandra Daddario, she's a big actress. She's 38. Let's do some math. In 2010, she's the same age as me. So in 2010, how old was I? 20. Oh my God! So she's in her 20s. She's in her 20s. She's like 23,
Okay.
playing
A 12-year-old girl.
No. Well, so she's playing a teenager, which is an adaptation on a 12-year-old girl.
Yes.
So
exactly.
as soon as you see her, you're like,
No.
am I doing the math right here? 2010 it came out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's
Either way, we can always
You're-
imagine that she was 17 plus. Like there was just no
you
relative
could-
imagination that she was anything like of that age.
Yeah.
Then with the show, another thing that they did good. Okay, Annabeth's around 11. The actress,
So
and
they
then
cast her better.
so they casted her better.
Okay.
Percy, he's around 11. I think he might be 15, but he looks really young, which
Okay.
is like you're a kid, you still have like that.
No, Percy and
Structure.
Annabeth in the movie look. I mean, she looks very young, but they don't look like they're 12.
12.
Yeah, you can't even say 15. They look
You
like
can't.
they're like 20 something.
And then on top of that, what they did was like, if you look at the cast now, it is just so much better. You see Annabeth, you see Percy, you see Grover. You're like, okay, these are kids. These are like actual kids.
Ah.
And then when
Percy
they
looks like a baby in this.
and then Luke.
This is the Disney version.
Yes,
right?
this
Okay.
is the Disney version. And then Luke also, he's also very age appropriate because he was on the older side. But again, they didn't make him look like he was 20 years old.
Right. I mean, he's taller, but that's
Um,
really it. Like he's taller and he looks maybe like he's a year or two older than the guy who's playing Percy.
And
Okay.
also they casted different ethnicities. Like Percy was how you would expect them to be,
Okay.
but Annabeth was like African American. Grover was like Indian American, and Luke, he looked somewhere from like Asia.
How did the fan base react to that? Because I know with
People actually were not that nice about it.
yeah, that's usually I'm not surprised. Unfortunately,
I think people would have rather preferred somebody who looked like
Don't take this
Annabeth.
the wrong way.
Okay.
The actor who played Luke was a really good actor, and like all of them were really good actors, and they played the role. I'm just saying that they cast different ethnicities, and I think that's a really big plus.
okay, yeah, I think so. I
know,
mean, to
but-
me, I look at this because I know that always becomes people get very upset when you see that. Well, bigoted and ignorant people get very upset when you see that. My favorite fictional character is supposed to be white. Like, okay, they're a fictional character first of all.
They
you
could be
love the
anything.
fictional character because of their traits and who they are, not because of what they physically look like. So as long as the character is true to those things, who cares? I think one of the coolest casting changes is the Penguin in the most recent Batman cartoon. They made the Penguin, who has always been an old male, be a woman. And it works. It's like one of the best portrayals. She's like the mob boss who is show business on the outside and super like personable and charismatic, and she is the most evil, cutthroat behind the scenes character, and it worked. The Penguin as a woman worked so well. Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
As a like, who cares if Dr. Octopus is a guy or a girl? The character still works. I think people get very upset about these things when it's. Do you think Annabeth worked better in the show?
It actually, yes, I do.
Then she worked better. It doesn't matter what her ethnicity was.
And like the sad part is though, is that when they were like interviewing her and stuff, and they were asking her, and they were saying things like, she vocally said it. She said, "I got a lot of hate.
Yeah,
like
of course.
people were very mean to me. People were like commenting on pictures of like the Disney trailers on Twitter, and they were like tagging me, and they were saying things like, 'You suck. This is bad.'" You would rather have somebody who is 20 plus years old play Annabeth than somebody who can play her personified. You would rather have somebody who just borderline cannot act as like a little 12-year-old and a girl who is at that age who can be Annabeth.
It's
you
ridiculous.
Wouldn't have her just because she isn't white, because she doesn't have like blue eyes like Annabeth does, or blonde hair. Like that's not fair.
And also, I think, if it's a new portrayal. Like, the movies were the movies. And if it's a new portrayal, I want something new. I want an actor or actress who's going to bring something unique to the table to give a fresh take on the character. Like, so that's what made the movies not work. What made the show so good?
Ares. They added Ares, and then they added so in the movies they did not add there's like a full-on ride where Aphrodite and Ares had met up, and like his shields got like stuck in a ride almost, and so they didn't add Ares, and Ares and Grover had this iconic moment that went absolutely crazy with people. Was like they were both talking, and Grover is going out of his way to like get almost like answers out of Ares as to what is going on and like what's going on in Mount Olympus. So they didn't add that factor, but that did happen in the books, because he did ask Percy Jackson like, "Oh, can you do this for me? Like, can you get this like shield?" They didn't realize how difficult it was going to be, but he did ask them. And in the movie, they didn't add that at all. They didn't add Grover's cunningness that he asked Ares. Like they completely forgot a characteristic of him, which is just insane to me.
So I gotta jump in on that, and then I want to hear Ash's take on his favorite part of the show. I think we are approaching a place, and we're probably already there, where shows and TV series are better than movies. And when it comes to
so true.
And when it comes to book series or content and franchises that are so rich and have so many great characters, movies are 2.5 hours, 3 hours if it's insane.
With all the music and stuff.
But a show can be, if you have 8 episodes in a show, that's 8 hours of content that you can do. Where it sometimes...
That's the exact amount of episodes there are.
It's usually 8 episodes, 8, 10, or 12. But what you're able to do then is you're able to explore sub-themes, sub-characters or side characters. You're able to really flesh out their motives and who they are as a person and why they're doing the things. And like you said, some of the things that get cut from books. So I kind of think that we're so used to following the progression of like shows and how TV can take you episode by episode through the journey. I think a little bit better than movies can at this stage, when you're doing it based off of something that already exists, like a book or a franchise. Ash, final thought. What'd you love about the shows the most?
I like the shows. Like the thing that I like most about the shows, I have to say that it was the ethnicities thing that I was talking about.
Okay.
But I also like the shows better than the movies, because they're missing out on so much. Like as Rabaab said, they don't show Grover's cunningness, but like also the whole underworld scene in the show. Like it's basically the same thing. Like there's
exactly
no Persephone.
How you would imagine it.
There
awesome.
are 3 pearls.
They built the world just the way that the author...
It should have been made in the first place.
And like it's a heartfelt moment where Percy knows that his mom would want him to fulfill the quest, right? But then in the movies, it's just like, okay, so we're there, right? Persephone is there, okay, right? And so then Hades steals the bolt. Then Persephone takes it and strikes Hades with it. I mean, that wasn't the idea. And in the end, it's Grover who stays behind, not Percy's mom. So like that basically ruins the whole heartfelt moment. Like that
Gotcha,
basically
gotcha.
ruins like the whole understanding of how much
And also that friendship
Percy
idea.
Percy's mom loves him.
Like from the beginning, we're building up this friendship idea that we're friends, we're doing this together, and he left behind his friend. And there's that element that gives you that uneasiness, like, hey, he was going on his friends. He was going with his friends on this special journey. He was enjoying all of this with his friends, and then suddenly he's just taking his mom and getting out of there, and he's leaving Grover in the underworld with the god of death. You're joking.
No, the goddess. Or no, the god like he was left with Persephone,
Yeah.
He was left with
who was
Persephone.
kind of weird.
But that's because she spends like 6 months with the god of death and then 6 months up in the world. Like it's odd. Her life circumstances are odd.
Well, I think at this point you've gotten me kind of in the mode where I want to give the books a chance. You're going to tell me what I know the answer already is. Read the books, then watch the show?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's the approach I would take because you want to get the full story and then
Okay.
you want to watch the show. But the show is just so much better.
Can I watch the show isolated with no context of the books and enjoy it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You can do that.
So-
you could literally just start fresh.
So I
and
could do
start
that with
it.
my son, and I'd probably then enjoy it a little more.
Yeah.
And then if I'm interested, go back
can
and read
read
the
books.
books,
Yeah.
get the full story.
Yeah.
Love it. And I think everybody out there should do that too. If you are on the fence or have read some of the books or only watched some of the movies or watched some of the show, Ash, Rabaab, this was so much fun. I got to check out the show. Until next time, stay safe, stay hungry. See ya.